Batman the Joker Warzone is the new collection of stories from some of your favorite writers tying directly into the events of the bigger Joker War. So with that out of the way, let's hop on in, shall we? So then, the first story actually deals with Bane of all people, following his defeat at the end of City of Bane and the slaying of Thomas Wayne. Yeah, remember how that was important yet never brought up again? He's in Arkham getting his venom pumped, and I find it interesting in such a big Joker-centric event like Joker War, Arkham Asylum actually ended up factoring very little. Honestly, it's kind of refreshing. The Clown Prince has come to visit Bane in his cell, and why he's even nice enough to return his lucha mask to him. Why is the Joker here and now? No doubt to gloat that his plan to take over Gotham was basically just a better, more effective version than Bane's. No, really, he's actually here and now just to talk mad shit about the man that broke the bat. Now he's once again fallen from grace, a shadow of his former self, a joke. But not like the funny kind of joke, like the sad kind of joke, which I think ultimately offends the Joker more than just about anything else. After all, Bane killed Alfred, Bruce Wayne's oldest confidant, his dearest friend, his father figure, and he did it in front of his son, Damian. But where was the joke? Where was the punchline? It could have been so good. The death of Alfred could have destroyed Batman, but instead it just made Robin really, really sad, and the Joker hates that he won't be able to do a better version of that gag himself. So yeah, basically the Joker has come all this way to remind us how bad City of Bane sucked, not that I needed to be reminded. Also, Joker seems to forget that he was under the control of Psycho Pirate at this time along with the rest of the Arkham villains, but that's dumb, and the less said about that the better. Joker leaves the asylum swearing that he and Bane will have it out eventually in the future, but that's gonna have to wait until, let's say next year sometime. Now, it's this next story that's actually the big one and probably the main reason this collection is coming out when it is, despite the fact that Joker War is practically already over. It's John Ridley's story about Batwing and the Fox family, which is gonna be leading into his own bigger Batman project. As we join the story, Lucius Fox is at home still recovering from his Joker poisoning, and it's given him a new lease on life as well as crime and superheroes in Gotham City. Now, the greater Fox family, thanks to the actions of Catwoman, also just so happen to find themselves the sole owner of the Wayne family fortune. Yeah, I know, I didn't read that Catwoman tie-in either, but apparently it was important. Luke, his mom, and his two sisters are split right down on the middle on what they should do. Some of them want to give it back, while Lucius thinks that that's a bad idea, given even with all of his money, Bruce and Batman has failed time and time again to truly save Gotham. Maybe now is time for a new approach. Of course, no one can be 100% sure what is exactly Lucius talking and what is the residual Joker poison talking. The Foxes don't get much time to make up their mind, though, as the Joker gang attacks them in their home, meaning that Luke needs to suit up to save them. Man, you forget sometimes how freaking cool the Batwing costume is. It's also nice to see Ridley clearly read the Palmiotti book and actually knows what he's talking about here. Batwing mops up the gangsters, but Lucius, still in his crazed state, ends up pulling a special gun on Batwing. After all, he made the suit, so he should very easily know how to destroy it. It's here too that the cops finally show up on the scene, and as you may have guessed, they turn out to be almost as dangerous to Lucius's life as the Joker's are. Did I mention Ridley also wrote the movie 12 Years a Slave and that racial politics may actually have some bearing on his new Batman story? Luckily, Luke is able to de-costume and defuse the situation before things can get out of the hand. The family now agrees that something new must indeed be done with the Wayne fortune, but whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it as a family, a whole family, mind you, which means bringing back Lucius's long-lost pre-crisis son, Timothy Fox. Now, after that, we get a brief, fun little story about Spoiler and Orphan, written by Joshua Williamson, wherein they take down a Joker gang recruiter, training new people for the ever-growing army. Honestly, it's just nice to know that someone remembered that these characters actually existed in the Bat family and can still be very, very useful. Fun art style, too. Poison Ivy, of all people, also has an unexpected story in this collection. You'll remember that Harley and Batman were hiding out in the secret garden known as Eden, but when the Jokers find the place, Pamela is forced to destroy her great work in order to drive them out. This naturally makes her very angry and causes her to once again plan to get revenge on all of Gotham City by planting new, incredibly strong Queen Ivy seeds all over the city. Again, want to know where this is going? Be sure to keep reading Batman in 2021. And lastly, we have a story focusing on the mysterious Clownhunter, the newest Gotham vigilante with a major hate-on for all things Joker. He actually only speaks in the last couple pages here, but we do learn a fair amount about him. He talks about his mother and father in past tense, implying that they're not here anymore. Maybe they were killed by the Joker, or maybe they were clowns themselves. Either could be equally true. Also, did you notice Clownhunter has his own unique font within his speech bubble, something that's only ever really reserved for special characters like, well, the Joker himself. We also find out that this kid used to hero worship Batman, but now he thinks that the Bat doesn't go far enough to keep the city safe, which explains all the killing and also why he's taken a Batarang as a trophy. He also gets his helmet knocked off during the fight, but he's not anyone we know. As the comic comes to a close, we see that Clownhunter, for his actions, is actually being celebrated as a hero and savior of the Narrows, the poorest and most disenfranchised part of Gotham. And so that was Batman the Joker Warzone issue number 1, and I think by now we all know these bigger anthology stories that tie into big events are always something of a crapshoot, but I ended up liking this collection of one-shots a lot more than I thought I would. Naturally, the most important one is the John Ridley Batwing story, because it's gonna lead into that brand new Batman book from Ridley. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. The man has a nice grasp on the Fox family and their dynamics, and the idea of them suddenly getting Batman level money and what that could mean for how they're going to try and fix the woes of the city has me really fascinated. I also have to wonder how new some of the stories in this collection are, considering that Tynion is clearly laying the groundwork for stuff in 2021 when it seemed like up until only recently he was only going to be writing Batman to issue 100. Overall, I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10. It was actually a real surprise in my comic pile this week. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.